Welcome to this brief interview in which we're going to talk about the upcoming AQE 2024, which takes place this time at the NEC from the 9th to the 10th of October. And today I'm delighted to have with me Jim Mills, who's going to be chairing day one of the AQE conference. Jim is a particularly useful person to talk to because he's been a delegate, he's been an exhibitor, he's been a speaker, and he's been a chair. So been there, done it, got the t-shirt. So thanks for joining me, Jim. First of all, in these days when we're all Zooming, you and I are Zooming now, why would anybody want to come to a conference and exhibition at the NEC to come and see what's going on at AQE? What are the main reasons for coming and who should come?
Good morning, Graham. Well, as you say, we've all sort of fallen into the trap of using social media and Zoom calls and whatever to keep in contact with colleagues across the air quality industry. And in my opinion, it can be useful, but it's no alternative to a face-to-face conversation and debate amongst scientists and various people involved in air quality. AQE presents an opportunity for everyone to meet, have a cup of coffee, look at the latest technology, and perhaps most importantly, in terms of what we're discussing this morning, attend an extremely vibrant conference, which is going to present all sorts of projects, technologies, and practices which are at the cutting edge of our industry. And I don't think there's any alternative to that, really. As you say, over the years, I've been involved in various different aspects of it. I can't imagine anything more valuable than the 2 days that I used to spend at AQE meeting not only all of our customers, conference attendees, but also getting in touch with the people that we used to compete with as well. An incredibly useful forum to look people in the eye and find out what's really going on in the industry.
And what about from a visitor's point of view? How would you define the people that are likely to be delegates at AQE or are normally delegates?
Yeah, we had an incredibly varied cross-section at the last AQE, which was very well attended, very busy. And of course, it looks as if it's going to be even bigger event this year, being at the larger venue of the NEC, which is a little bit easier in terms of transport links as well than Telford. So I think we're probably going to see certainly a larger audience this year. And I would encourage people to try and get in and register their interest to attend as soon as possible. But the type of people, it covers industrialists, local authority, central government, agencies, consultancies, and all of the scientific and technology communities that are providing the kind of measurement and abatement technologies. And I think that's particularly important. It's not just about measuring air quality and looking at how we're complying or not with legislation, but actually what we're doing to improve air quality. And a lot of the abatement companies, both abatement for outdoor air quality and indoor air quality, will be at AQE this year. I think that's an incredibly important step that the industry is now going through, is really moving towards improvement, public engagement as well. There's a lot of social science people attending this year and speaking this year about how we can improve engagement with the public, inform the public in real time about air quality so that they can take the steps to reduce their exposure to air quality and also perhaps drive some behaviour change, which we all need to do if we're going to get to a better place in terms of air pollution.
So does that mean that delegates could include members of the public like pressure groups and so on, as well as the normal people like environmental health officers from local authorities? There's always a lot of academia and researchers tend to come to AQE. And of course, air quality consultants. I assume those are kind of people for whom this would be the perfect event.
Absolutely. The consultancy sector itself, of course, they're plugged into so many different aspects of air quality projects and operation, modeling also, as well as monitoring and reporting, compliance with legislation and best practice. The consultants are an incredibly important part of that sector. And we do tend to see a tremendous number of consultants along, but also industrial clients, government clients that those consultants are working for tend to benefit also from a direct experience at something like AQE. It helps them to specify in much more detail the type of report and input that they want from the consultancy sector. And I know that some consultants actually actively encourage their clients to come along and learn more about what's going on in the marketplace.
So obviously AQE stands for air quality and emissions, so that there'll be a whole section on industrial emissions and compliance monitoring and the regulations that go along with that. But in terms of the air quality sections of the conference, what do you think will be the main themes this year?
So monitoring and modeling are two of the main arms of activity in the air quality world, because you can't improve what you can't measure. And you can't measure everywhere. So modeling is incredibly important alongside the monitoring activities. And I think those are the main thrust of the speaker content this year. One of the key things that's happening in the industry right now is the miniaturization of sensing technology. And DEFRA, JACU, asked the British Standards Institute a couple of years ago to look into producing a publicly available standard, essentially a free to download standard. The one in particular of interest in this area is PAS 4023, for anyone who wants to go and look it up. But this standard sets out how to get the best information from these new miniaturized, small, low-cost sensor technologies. And that's going to be one of the keynote speakers on day one. Actually, we have a speaker, Valerio Veracci from National Physical Laboratory, who's going to be presenting that standard and explaining how the standard was developed and how it can help people actually apply the good practice within that. So that's going to be one of the main things. But of course, the conventional monitoring networks that are run by government are also incredibly important, because they've been running for many decades and they form the basis of a lot of the reference information that the small sensor networks can then complement. So we'll be hearing from Richard Maggs at Bureau Veritas about how the national UK air quality network is being enlarged and overhauled. So from a monitoring point of view, lots of updates on both sensors and reference technology. And then we'll hear from a selection, I won't go through them all, but a selection of active projects that are running currently in the UK, both with small sensors and with reference technology, trying to provide better information to drive policy and behaviour change across the country. One or two of those we've heard from before at AQE. For instance, Vodafone have been running a pilot project in Glasgow for the last 2 or 3 years. They presented at the last AQE. They're going to come back and actually present what they found by running those pilots. And we also have a little bit of information this year, a little bit more information this year on indoor air quality, which is becoming incredibly important. And Dr. Leah Chatsahaku from Cambridge University is going to be showing how indoor air quality is linked to outdoor air quality, and how much more complicated it is with all of the aerosols, sprays, chemicals and things we use at home and in schools and in the workplace, and how that can mix with outdoor air pollution and create really quite a complex situation which really needs to be dealt with. So the conference will be addressing indoor air quality in a little bit more detail this year.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. Thanks very much, Jim. So just a reminder that people can register to attend the conference and exhibition for free by going to, I'm sure they'll put the web address here. But the other thing to say about the web address, it also provides prospective visitors with a great deal of information on who the speakers are, along with a summary of what they're going to be talking about. So the thing about this event, in my experience, is that there's a hell of a lot going on, and you really have to plan your visit very carefully in order to make the most of it, because there are presentations going on at the same time as each other in 5 or 6 different places, and so you really need to be selective about which presentations you want to attend and plan your visit accordingly. So I urge people to have a look at the website and plan their visit, register as soon as you can whilst it's free, and of course we look forward to seeing everybody, and indeed I look forward to seeing you, Jim, in October.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd encourage everyone to have a look at the conference program online, and as you say, plan ahead, because the air quality conference program this year is concentrated in the morning session of the conference. There are other aspects, as you say, running on in the afternoon, a whole range of technical workshops. So for those who are looking to get up to date with the cutting edge science that we're going to be discussing at the conference, focus on the morning sessions and get registered. My advice would be get registered as soon as possible, because we have a fairly large conference area, but we expect it to fill up pretty quickly, as it's already doing. And I wouldn't want anyone out there to be disappointed that they can't quite get the space to engage with us in the way that we'd like.
Thanks very much, Jim. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Graham. Bye-bye.